Hey everybody, this is Nick from Threat X3 Productions. Today we're bringing you another Thinking About Things. This is the Mummy Demastered. Set your expectations. The Mummy Demastered was released in October of 2017 by Way Forward Games, known actually for a lot of licensed tie-in games, like SpongeBob the movie, the game. I first saw this game a while back. Obviously, it was tied to the new Mummy movie, and it kind of just was like, well, that looks neat, I guess. I finally bought it recently because it was on sale for $11.99. And I thought, nah, what the hell? I'm in the mood for a platformer, and it looks kind of like it mixes Metal Slug and MetroidVania kind of stuff. So, yeah, what the heck? I'll try it out. And here are my thoughts on it. I actually really like it. It's a really fun game. It's a really fun Metroidvania set in a kind of gothic world and a modern world because you have guns and grenades and Molotovs and stuff like that, rather than the sci-fi setting of Metroid where you have like plasma and missiles, or the Castlevania where it's gothic and you have whips and you're throwing crosses and you're doing spells. So this is a more modern look at it, and it even throws just a smidge of Dark Souls, or Demon Souls if you will, in that when you die, your body comes back to life and you're one of the slaves of Anaxinomun. And so then you come back as another kind of nameless grunt sent into the last place you got a signal from the last grunt. And so now you have to go, and you can go and kill the last player and take all their gear. This adds a nice little layer to it because, you know, instead of just a normal player, you're playing as like a bunch of players. And so that kind of adds a little interesting layer to it. I like it personally just because that character has all that you had. So if you have a shotgun equipped, it has a shotgun. If you have Molotovs equipped, it has Molotovs equipped. And you have to go and kill it on the most basic person. And honestly, it kind of just fits the overall universe of what they're trying to set up. So that kind of just adds a little bit to it. I admit that maybe being a nameless grunt is maybe a little disappointing other than having like an actual character, but still in the sense of what they're trying to go for, it just makes sense and I like what they did with it. So overall, my thoughts are pretty great. I think you should get it. If it's on sale, go for it. At $19.99, I don't know. I mean, I really feel like it is really, you have to be in the mood for it, and you have to set your expectations correctly. And then I was curious about the reception. So actually, it's not that bad. It's at a 75% on Metacritic and a 9 out of 10 on Steam. And in fact, out of the 7 reviews on Metacritic, 6 of them are positive and 1 of them is mixed. Actually, if you only average the positive, it brings it all the way up to an 80%. Now, I'm not saying that we should suppress negative reviews, but rather I'm finding it kind of funny that one lower review causes the entire thing just to go down. This takes it from an 80 to a 75. And for some people, not saying it's the right thing to do, but for some people, making it below an 80 can make it almost immediately unappealing for some people. In comparison, let's see Axiom Verge, which is another independent Metroidvania. This one's set in the future, so it's not a one-on-one comparison, but it has 15 reviews, over double, and all positive. But out of its few 100, there are 275 reviews, but it doesn't affect the overall score because it just has more reviews. It's at an 87% on Metacritic. Then on Steam, it's a 9 out of 10. This suggests that it's equal to The Mummy, but it's just not true based on the Metacritic score. Then you have the price. Both are at $19.99. I bought it at $11.99. This definitely affects the way I think about the game because I didn't have as much going into it. It was on sale. It was kind of a just, what the hell, might as well. Is it gonna hold up to something like a Metroid or something like a Castlevania? No, but setting your expectations to just have fun with the game, it's actually really good. But actually most of the reviews are pretty positive, and when you see what they have to say about it, most of them praise it for taking new steps into the Metroidvania rather than just going over the same stuff over and over again. But then why do most people not know about it? In fact, you might not have known about it, or you might have seen it but just kind of went right past it. Well, I think obviously this is a couple of reasons. Number one, it's The Mummy, the new movie, and not a lot of people like that. So why would you even think about buying the game that's tied to it? A game like Injustice or Injustice 2 was well established in its own universe. So when the Justice League came out, it didn't exactly hurt the sales of Injustice 2. And then another part I think is its score. It's a 75, and like I said, some people just look at that and they go, oh, well, that's obviously not a good game. That's not a great game. And there are so many games nowadays that anything below an 8 almost immediately people just disregard it. They're like, oh, well, it must be trash, or it's good, but I don't have time for good. And I totally get that. In fact, in most cases, I'm the same way. But we're in an era now that we have sales. And I feel like sales really make a difference for me, because I can look at a game and I can just look at it for what it is. I saw this game and it was kind of just a platformer with a bunch of shooting, and I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of in the mood for something like this. Why the heck not? And I ended up being really surprised. If you like Metroidvania style of games, but maybe you want to see something in a more modern setting, this is actually a really cool game, and I think you should maybe even try it out. Or hell, maybe if it goes on sale for even cheaper than $11.99, definitely pick it up. But this is definitely just me thinking about things and really just going and really digging deep into like the mentality of why reviews matter. I don't personally think that maybe they should. I think you should still go off of your own personal views and opinions, but you know, sometimes it's just that initial number. In fact, right before purchasing the game, I made sure to see how many stars on the PSN it had, and because it had enough for my taste, I decided, okay, I might as well. So I'm just as guilty in some points. But even then, it had 4 stars. 4 stars out of 5. Hold on. Wait. 1, 2, 5. That's still 8. That's an 8 out of 10. Even then, it's still got a better review than the Metacritic. But some people just trust Metacritic more. I don't know. That's kind of just how thinking about things works. I see something, I play something, and it just kind of gets me thinking. So let me know what you guys think. Have you played The Mummy Demastered? Have you just not even been interested? Have I intrigued you? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We've been putting out a lot more stuff on YouTube. I'm very proud of it. And we also have our Nerd to the Third podcast, as well as Resident Evil in Review, where we'll be going in depth on all the Resident Evils leading up to the Resident Evil 2 remake. So look out for that. Thank you so much for joining us. This was Nick of Threat X3 Productions.